Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. I'm doing a mission today. We're gonna visit the poachers camp and set these poachers straight. Javis, you have permission to work on any mission that your heart desires whilst I'm checking out these poachers. Okay. While they were poaching eggs. Let's see if I go that way. Can we cross there? That looks like it's not crossable. Oh, and do we have a bunch of broken roads? We do, don't we? I usually try to fix those. Well, we'll do this first, and then we'll come back and we'll fix the roads after that. After this mission. Let's see, where am I? Right.
For tasks, I don't. I'm not even seeing them. So.
Okay. Hello, I haveth no life. I also haveth no life right now. It's not a lot going on, aside from video games, which are fun, but the question is, do they pay the bills? And the answer is, sorta. So we're gonna. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, James.
I'm gonna grab a truck and go around and collect the missions.
Okay.
For the two road repairs that I can see.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to start fixing up the road.
And we'll go from there and see what needs done.
Oh, Cameo, thank you. Cameo. Now, what does the EL stand for at the end of Cameo EL? I've always been curious. If you can't say, it's fine. But I've always been curious as to what Cameo L is. I'm running through that mud. Oh. I'm running up this hill with my ugly truck. I don't know. That song was cool, but I'd never heard it before until the very horrible fourth season of whatever the name of the show was, Stranger Things. I couldn't watch it. It got too creepy for me. I don't do creep well. I had a hard time with the first three seasons, but they were like just softcore creep enough that I could handle it. But when they got to season 4, it just got so over the top, violently creepy that I was like, I can't watch this anymore. I really liked it, but so I watched like the first episode or two, had nightmares for like a week, and then I was like, okay, I'm done. Not watching this anymore. I don't know why this show gives me nightmares, but that kind of stuff does. Oh, that's cool. Okay. So was it kind of like the typhoon or something like that, or was it more? Hello, Red Alpha. I think I said hello to Laura. Hi, Laura. Yeah, I'll go low gear. We still got this stuck truck we got to pull out too. Well, that's a good thing. At least it's here for a little while, right? Good to see you, OCM. Oh, okay. All right. Well, this is a cool truck, though. I can't believe you still have it. I had a 90. What year was it? It could have been a 95. My parents bought it. My mom and my grandma. It was the first 4-door Jimmy. And when I say, I mean literally, it was the first one that they sold in Cleveland. Like as soon as it became available, my mom had been wanting one, and we had this old Caprice Classic, and so they'd been looking for a new car, and she convinced my grandma to buy it. She's like, "Oh, we need one of the. Let's get rid of the car and get that." And I remember, thank you, Javius. I remember thinking how cool it was, because first of all, Blazers were cool. I mean, it wasn't a Blazer. I'm sorry, it was a Jimmy, but it was the same thing. It's like the S15. 400 turbo. Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's cool. That is really cool. So you've souped it up a little bit. Anyway, so we went with my grandma to buy this thing, and I remember being so frustrated because like the guy wouldn't give my grandma the price that she wanted, and so she walked, and I'd never, I'm terrible at shopping for, even now I'm not good at car shopping. Like I'm not good at doing those wheelie dealy things. But she's like, "No, I want it for this much, or we're out of here." And the guy's like, "No, come on, this is how much it is." The boss said it, and she walked. She's like, "Nope." And so we left, and I was just like, I was so angry. I'm just like, I can't believe it. We almost had that cool truck, and now we're never gonna get it. And she's like, "Oh no, we'll get it. Just watch." So we got home, and by the time we got home, the guy had called and left a message and was like, "Yeah, all right, we'll do what you want." Like she knew how to work that system, That was my grandpa taught her how to do that. They were both good at that, but I'm terrible at it. I wish my grandpa would have been around because he died when I was 15, and so he didn't really give me the car buying finance instructions, and he was really good at that stuff. So I did not, but Javius was telling me all about it, and some of the things that do work and some of the things that are broken now because of it. So sounds like it's a good thing and not necessarily a good thing. Negotiating the prices right. Yeah, I love it. I love that. That's such a cool ability to be able to do that. Because they do add a lot of extra charges, And I know the dealership's got to make some money, and the sales guy's got to make some money, so there's some wiggle room in there. But I know, talking to just guys that are used car salesmen, they're making so much money right now, and the guy's like, "I've made more money in the last couple of months than I've made in my life." And it's just free money. It's like, there's really no value in the extra value in the car. Just the guys are making more money hand over fist. It's not because it's a better car.
Yeah, well, that guy's going to be crying here.
I know. It's going to end pretty soon here. Oh, that stinks, OCM. Yeah, so have you been watching the forecasts, Javius?
Or I assume you're not talking the weather, you're talking the cars.
Yeah, for like auto sales and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, auction prices are down. Expensive stuff is not selling at auction, and dealer lots are filling up with new inventory. It's not moving.
So hopefully by the time I get my money for the lawsuit, truck prices will have come down. Hey, what's up, Patrick?
It depends on what you want to buy, and depends on where you're willing to buy it from.
I know 44's got his dad's truck that he was like, we'll work something out. And I'm like, all right, it's exactly what I'm looking for. It's a high miles truck, but it's in good shape. No rust, obviously, low rust because it came from the south. But it's basically the same thing as the pickup truck I was looking at. It's just the what do you call it? The pickup version of the Yukon. Yeah, that guy just never came through with the truck, Fighting Pie. I don't know if you remember the whole story about me buying the Suburban 2 years ago. Well, we still don't have it. So now I'm having to sue the guy to get my money back. So he took, $10,000 and gave me nothing. So that's not going to fly. Thankfully, I have a friend who's a lawyer. And he's like, "Oh, well, we'll just sue him. That's cool." He's like, "You're going to win." So the guy didn't respond to we sent him a certified letter just saying, like, "You're going to be sued if you don't pay this. Here's your opportunity to pay it out of court, And he didn't respond. And so he didn't even sign the letter. So Lawsuit, here we come. And he probably, my guarantee, I can almost guarantee the guy will not show up for the case. He's one of those guys. He will not even show up in court. So we'll win by default. So.
Winning by default is one thing. Collecting is another.
Yeah, he's got some things. He's got a Porsche that we're going to get if he doesn't do it on his own. It's worth about $30,000. So, yeah, but it's a pain, like you said. Any kind of the recovery is a pain in general. You hope instead that they just pay it when they lose, but he probably won't. So we'll have to put liens on some of his stuff and get him to sell it.
No, Mr. Mike is still tied up. He will not be joining us.
Okay, all right. Is that what the text are?
Not anytime soon. Yeah.
All right. Tell him we love him. We'll see him next session.
I think he's avoiding me.
He's avoiding you. Yes, Yorgel, that is correct. However, because he already filed bankruptcy and the suit is post-bankruptcy, the bankruptcy does not clear the suit. Here's the thing that people don't understand about bankruptcy. Once you file bankruptcy, you can't keep racking up more debts and getting out of them. Once it's filed, it's done. Anything before the bankruptcy is, the judge decides how to handle. Anything after the bankruptcy, you still owe. It becomes a new debt. And you can't and if they see that you're trying to refile like a second bankruptcy, judges will throw it out of court. You can't do like multiple bankruptcies unless you're doing it over many years, like maybe it's like 10 years later you file bankruptcy again, but you can't just frivolously file bankruptcies. So, I mean, you can file them all you want, but they won't grant them necessarily. So, since he just filed bankruptcy, it'll actually be... Yeah, it can be difficult. Depends on the lawyer, though, too. Some of the lawyers are good at collecting, and this guy seems to be pretty good. He's done a good job for us so far on the other stuff, so... If they have a... yeah, who knows? But even if he didn't, it's that because especially it's good if he did because it becomes collateral. But yeah, he owns the Porsche. It's not he's not paying for it. It's like a 15-year-old Porsche. That's a huge door. 10 foot by 10 foot. Those are like the ones like that are on my wife's barn. Freaking huge. The only problem with this truck is this. It takes forever to get anywhere.
Chose the wrong truck.
I don't know. It's hard to know. This map is pretty muddy, and it just blinks at the mud and continues. So in that way, it's really good. But as far as like when we're on the dry patches, it's kind of sluggish. Like so far I've been glad that I had it, but it is, oh man. Okay, his cabin's like way off the beaten path. I might be able to get it through here. Let's see how deep this lake is. How deep is your lake?
I've been on this map with you recently.
What'd you say?
Since I've been on this map with you last week and a couple of weeks, I knew how ugly it was going to be, so I'm like, Tega, Boron, either one will do.
Right, exactly, the big trucks. Hey, what's up, mate? John. John Boy. What's up, kid?
How are you able to keep up with the chat and drive the truck?
Sometimes it works. Many times. Sometimes it doesn't. How did Seth do? Dang, I didn't know he was streaming. I would have watched. I'll have to watch the replay. What did he play, John? Risk of Rain? Oh, you actually built the doors and then hung them. That's really cool, OCM. That's pretty intense. Oh, that's cool. Did he have a lot of viewers? Did he get viewers? Soupy is streaming now. I think that's cute. Ryan does occasionally, but he gets scared and doesn't do it. Cool. All right. Well, good.
Do you have one of the really wide monitors?
I do.
Wide?
I do. Yes.
So you can have the chat right next to the game.
Well, no, I don't do it that way. I have 3 monitors.
So do I, show off.
So I bump the monitor right up to the other monitor. So they're both curved, and so they curve together.
I have the stream up on my left screen with the chat on the right side of it, right or to the left of where I'm playing, but
Okay, yeah, that's how I do it.
I forget to look.
Yeah, I just have done it for so long. I know what you're saying. If I'm like really busy, like racing or something, I don't usually read until the end. I've gotten good at kind of just popping and reading quickly. That's why I read people's names wrong sometimes. Oh my gosh, Patchwork. Hey, have some good soup, Red Alpha. That sounds freaking delicious. Okay, now we gotta visit the old dock. What? There's a truck here. What is this?
Looks like a Fleet Star.
Get it. Okay, I activated that. All right, so we need to go to the old dock. Quack. The old duck. Which is this way. I was disappointed. I went to fly my air. There's this little apostolic church, like at the end of my wife's road, and there's nobody ever there. So I go fly out of the parking lot because it's like backs up against these farm fields. So I was gonna go today and fly, and then but somebody like got there and was like unloading stuff into the church, and they were like looking, and they're kind of almost like Amish people, like a little bit. So they're kind of reclusive. And I'm like, oh, great. Like, I'm probably making them, like, uber uncomfortable just being there. And so I was like, shoot. So then I took off, like, with the airplane, and it was, the battery went dead, like, as soon as I took off. And that's frightening. Just like in real life when an airplane loses its power. It was like, it does this, the way they do with the RC airplanes is when the battery gets low, they have an LVC warning, and what it does is it lowers and raises the RPM on the motor in quick succession so that it makes like a noise while you're flying. So you can hear that there's a problem. And then you have like 10 seconds to get back. I was like, oh God. So like I'm just taking off and like underpowered already because it's not doing it. I'm like kind of hanging over the field. So I whipped that thing around and I came back and lined up for the landing going the wrong way because I was going with the wind, which is of course, as anyone that knows airplanes knows how bad it is to land with a tailwind. So I got this airplane coming in at like 30 miles an hour and I put the flaps down and thankfully that slowed it a little bit. And I did get it down on the ground, but it was like a little bit of a hair-raising moment. And I'm like, okay, I had another battery and I'm like, instead of me just trying it, I'm just going to not fly. That was a bummer though, because I wanted to fly. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Better safe than sorry. Visit the old poacher's boat. Oh, what? I gotta visit his boat. I think I really didn't. Remember what I said about picking the wrong truck? I'm gonna take that back. I think I picked the right truck for this. Considering it's got these giant tires and we have to... Oh, the poacher's got a big boat. Why was he sailing that thing in these shallow waters? That was a mistake. What's up, Anthony? All right, they got to try to see if we can follow the land. Was Micah texting back?
I'll let you know. Yeah.
What up, QB Austin? I know, right? You just gotta find the shallow spots. If you look up, yeah, see that? Can't tell from here, but from here you can see, oh wait, the bottom is. Oh. So he brought this thing of whatever this is out here. Unfortunately, I've got my little tiny scout hitch. Left behind a lot of evidence. We have another job to do.
Medium logs. Medium logs. They can only go in the long trailer, right?
Some trucks have a medium log like that you can put on, like the Paystar, the original Paystar has a medium log thing.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, and the price has gone up. Okay, so when I started in RC airplanes, hey, what's up, Developmenter? Oh, that's not good. That's remind me, it's your friend's dog that you have over? Are they okay? Yeah, see, I'm not going to be, I don't think oh, it does. Oh, good. It's a scout trailer. I was kind of afraid it wasn't going to work. So when I started, they had $100. Somebody keeps texting me. When I started, they had $100 alternative radio. And then later on, I replaced that radio with an upgrade. And the upgrade was only $150. Now that same exact radio, they're asking $250 for it. It's the same radio. They didn't make any changes to it. They are because they can. So the radio that I used to have is now $250, even though it was $150. Same thing with the airplanes. When I got into it, the UMX airplanes were $115 $120. They were $119. Then they upped the prices to $129, which, that's reasonable still. Now they're $159 for the same airplanes. So they're just raising the prices on everything. They'll make a change or two, but then they re-release it at a higher price. They pull it off the shelf for a couple months and then re-release it with a better motor, so they can justify the price hike. But yeah, it sucks. Yep, you gotta love inflation. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like dogs. There's more important thing than pets. My dogs do that a little bit more often. They fight over a toy or something, though. They don't fight over me. Yep. So the prices have been where it was. I mean, it's still, see you later. It's over, where the prices are still, I mean, honestly, for what you get, excuse me. So for example, that radio that I have is a 6-channel radio. It works with most RC planes that have flaps and landing gear. So with 6 channels, you have channel 1 is throttle, channel 2 is rudder, 3 is elevator, 4 is aileron, channel 5 is going to be like your landing gear or flaps, and channel 6 can be your landing gear or flaps. Oh, that's cool. Well, have fun watching Little House on the Prairie, my friend. We'll see you next time. And so that's a nice radio setup. And the other nice thing about the radio is it holds up to 250 different airplanes. So as you buy the airplanes, you buy them what's called bind and fly. They have a receiver for your radio already put into them. When you get them, you just bind them to your radio and add a new memory slot. So I've got every single airplane that I own is flown from my one radio. So it's really cool that way. So yes, it's expensive to get into, but once you have that piece, and the batteries are interchangeable too. It's a Spectrum from Horizon Hobby. It's a DX6E. Now they have a new one called the NX6E that's 350 that has some additional like the NX can. These new airplanes that are coming out have telemetry, so they'll tell you exactly how much voltage is in the battery, if your engine's overheating. If the servos are overheating, it tells you real time what's going on with the electronics on the aircraft, which is really cool. None of my airplanes have that though, so I don't need it. And even when I buy the new ones, you don't have to have it to fly them. So at some point I may upgrade to the NX, but I don't need it. So yeah, I think I have one airplane right now that has the telemetry in it, and I don't use it. I don't read the telemetry. So, there we go. Morning. What's up, John? So anyway, once you have the radio, you're good. Now, a lot of the airplanes like use the same batteries too. So I have 4 batteries that fit my ultra micros. I'll charge all 4 of them up and then grab 2 of my ultra micros and go flying for an hour. So I pick which 2 I want to fly. I have like 6 or 7 of them, but I pick the 2 that I want to fly that day. And I use the batteries with them. They don't each have to have their own batteries. So that's also kind of modular. So you don't have to have a million different batteries for each plane. So that helps. So there's, like I said, there's different things that you can do to kind of save some money. So I can't do it during the week, honey, because there's too much going on. That's why I can go on the weekend, though. If you're going to go on Friday, I'll see you Friday night. Or Saturday, I mean. I'll see you Saturday night. So yeah. So it is a little bit more. Right, exactly. And it's worth it. I've had my 6E, my DX6E for 5 or 6 years now without any problems. It's been a great radio. They last a decent amount of time. So if you factor out the cost over the years that you're going to use it, it's not really that expensive. It's cheaper than a console, and you're going to be outside having fun, you know. But make sure that you practice on a simulator first. So when you get the NX or whatever, it's got a USB connector connected to the computer. Download some practice software and practice flying. There you go. Yeah, you bring your batteries with you. Yeah, now airplanes are shorter. So I'd say 6 batteries is probably the happy medium because you get about 5 minutes of flight. I find that after about 6 flights, I'm done. Like I'm no longer paying attention, so it's best to be just finished around 6 flights. Whether I do that between 3 different aircraft or 2 airplanes, 3 flights each, you know. But I don't do much more than that because I'm no longer paying attention. Hi, Louie. Just like streaming, I have about a 2-hour limit. I found if after 2 hours I'm really not paying attention or I'm falling asleep, or so 2 hours is about the max that I can go. Tonight it might be less because my wife I had to pick her up from work and we started way late because I was having a problem with my recording drive. So yeah, I've never had that happen where I've crashed an airplane because of negligence. I had one airplane that I was doing tricks in the front yard, and I really shouldn't have been, and I knew better. And it was a little miniature P-51 Mustang, and I plowed it into the front of my van, and it was trashed. I had all kinds of problems with that plane, though, so I wasn't like too sad that it was gone. But the other one I had was a really nice one. Mark had bought me this really nice scale Piper Archer. And I had my old radio, my original DX6, not the one I have now, but the original one, the gray one. I took that off at my church, and the radio reversed the channels. Something I've never had a radio do before, and I never have had it do since. But I did have it do it twice. It did it on that airplane, and it did it on another one. When it did it on the other one, I was ready, and I saved the airplane. But the first time it happened, I wasn't ready. I just had no idea it was going to do that. So I pressed left, and the airplane went right, and it flew into the woods, and got demolished, and that was sad because that was a really nice airplane. It was a gorgeous scale Piper Archer. It was a bummer. So, but once again, cheap. Those planes back then, man, they were like $150 at the. Yes, it was an issue with the radio, and it did it again on another airplane. I had to do the same thing with a different aircraft, where right became left and left became right. And of course, you know, thankfully it was a tiny little airplane, and I had just taken off and realized it right away. So I cut the throttle and let the airplane just float back down into the grass, and it was fine. But that was when I bought a new radio. That's when I got the new one. So I just some circuit somewhere got crossed, yeah, or some bug in the software. You know, it was. I know. I talked to the guy at the store, you know, because it was out of warranty by that point. No, because it was an electronic issue. I went in and it was literally reversed in the software. So it was like the software goofed up. It's going well, Darth Scepter. Thank you for asking. Spectre. Darth Spectre. It's going well, Spectre. So anyway, that's my coffee-fueled sermon on RC planes. Other than that, I still have all my original RC planes that I've ever owned. I've even got the very first airplane that my son Mark bought me. He's the one that got me into it. He bought me a Champ for Christmas one year. It was a Hobby Zone little Aeronca Champ. If you've never seen them before, they look kind of like a Piper Cub, but the pilot sits in the front instead of the back. It's a two-seater, and it's a side. No, it's front to back. Yeah, gorgeous little airplane. And as far as RC goes, it was really easy to fly. And so he bought me one of those, and I practiced and learned how to fly with it. And hold on a second, my wife's calling. One moment, please. So did you guys have? Did you answer their question about the DLC trucks?
I was attempting to. He was asking about just straight up paid trucks.
Okay, so.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the season passes are where all these maps come from, and you get the season pass usually includes two or three new trucks and a new set of maps, either 2 maps or 3 maps or sometimes one giant map. But in general, you get 2 vehicles and a map, 2 maps. Yeah, so what you do, well, you have to turn, for the radios to connect, Developmenter, you have to turn the radio on first. You turn the radio on first, then you connect the airplane. What's up, Tayloa? In my case, because I have multiple airplanes, I turn the radio on, I load the profile for that aircraft, then I turn the aircraft on. Then before you take off, and this is what I learned from that experience with the airplane having reversed directions. Hi, gorgeous. I learned very quickly that you want to check and make sure that all the surfaces go in the direction that they're supposed to go before you take off. So when I start an airplane, it does its little beep, beep, boop, 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 and then it's ready to fly. And I press left and right on the ailerons and make sure the ailerons, you know, when I press left, the left aileron goes up. When I press right, the right aileron goes up. I check pressing left makes the rudder go left, and pressing right makes the rudder go right. You know, and I go through all the control surfaces and make sure they're all functioning in the directions they're supposed to be functioning. There we go.
That's
all right,
just
so
a real pilot.
Yeah, just like a real pilot would do. You gotta. All right, so we're gonna I'm gonna go on to helping the investigation here. Visit the poacher's boat. We did that already. Deliver to the police station some drilling spare parts. Okay, so we gotta go back to this boat. But the sucky thing is I'm almost out of gas. I did see a gas tanker. Oh, there's is there gas? Yeah, there's a fuel station back here. So we gotta go back to town. Oh my gosh.
There's a station back there, and there's a tanker trailer at the factory that have just recently left.
Okay. Is there an update finally? Are they fixing the problems, or is this the update for the DLC?
You're talking about?
He's for FS. He's getting ready to stream the new FS. He says as soon as the update installs. But I'm wondering if he means the actual update or if they updated the update, because there's a bug. There's some bugs. I'm hoping they fix them soon.
No, say it isn't so.
Okay, so it just went to launch and they said a lot of bugs. They said that there's some updates. Okay, all right. So hopefully they're going to be updating it. Yeah. Yeah, the radios are pretty complex. Anyway, I still have all my airplanes. Some of them are non-functional just because the radios, they stop working. I've got one airplane that will no longer connect. I've got a little Trojan that won't connect to the radio any longer. I don't know why, but it just won't. But my original airplane, my little Champ still flies. That thing's got like 3,000 flights on it, man. It's got almost as much time on it as a real airplane. I've got one helicopter right now that's really cool. It's a Blade 160S, and man, that thing is awesome. It sounds real when it flies. It uses collective pitch, and it's a really cool helicopter. Pretty fast too, but it can do like all the weird stunt stuff that those guys do. I don't particularly flip it upside down because I'm not that good. So. For what development, or what are we talking about here? For that aircraft? No, you can't. Their UMX. I think you're talking about the little one, right? The one I was just talking about, the Trojan. My problem with the B-17, I've never seen an RC one that flies scale. They always, because of their wing shapes and stuff, they have to really fly fast to stay airborne, and it looks a little bit goofy until they get really big. When you get the guys that have the really big gas ones, those start to look a little bit more realistic, but when you scale them down to like foamy size, they have to fly really fast to stay airborne. Yeah. Oh, I know, but when you see it in the air, it's got this grace to it that's like, it's very graceful and it's very beautiful. And when you see it flying in an RC plane, it looks like 10 times as fast. It's not good looking. It's goofy looking. So yes, developmenter, you cannot replace the receiver, and I've only got the one remote. So all my other airplanes work with the radio. It's not the radio. It's the receiver is bad, but the problem is it's built into a single unit. So the entire aircraft, all of its brains are on one computer. So you have to replace the whole thing. They don't make them anymore because it's old. So they're on to new stuff, right? Yeah, you can replace the receiver if it's a separate unit, but it's like getting an all-in-one computer. Well, if the video card blows, you're replacing the whole thing because it's all part of that one piece. So these were tiny little ultra micros that came out 15 years ago. Hey, it lasted. I got probably once again 1,000 to 2,000 flights on my little Trojan. So it definitely got its money. I got my money's worth out of it. So. Well, yeah, you have to replace the whole piece, though. I don't think they're built like that. Yeah, I guess you're right. You'd have to replace the IC, though. If it's a single unit, that may all be integrated into the overall build. Like, I don't know that there's actually a separate receiver. It could be part of the main processing. I don't know. I'm not sure how they built those. You'd have to consult the manufacturer to see which chips you'd have to replace, but at that point, I think those brains were like 80 or 90 bucks at the time. So what's the headache worth to save that? You know, you could just buy a new one for $100. You could buy the whole airplane new for $100 back then. So, but yeah, this one lasted for a long time. That's right. How did this break and how can we... Whoa. Oh.
Boing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Come on, pull. Oh, stupid. Grab something that you can actually pull over. This truck is so heavy when it goes over. Oh, frick. It stalled itself. I forgot to put the Scout. We're going to have to do this. This sucks, but I forgot to put the Scout winch on it. I've got the advanced one. We need autonomous is what we need.
Think you would have remembered that after last week.
I know. I totally forgot. Well, we were still out from last time. So, well, no, we were at the garage, weren't we? Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to try to get the poacher's point from...
I haven't seen that video yet.
Oh, yeah, true. That hasn't been released yet. They were here, though. Most of these guys were on stream, so...
Oh, that's true.
So, yeah, I've got stuff like that, like airplanes that don't fly anymore, gyros that went bad, like gyroscopic stabilization. I had a Spitfire that I kept for years after it wouldn't work. The gyro on the board went bad. But once again, it was an all-in-one unit, so it's like, well, I can either spend $100 and fix it, or just call it a loss and fly something else. So I just ended up buying a different airplane. And the thing that I'm finding is that their newer airplanes don't have as many failures. I'm not sure why that is, but they're just, I think, more robust, using bigger power supplies. And honestly, I don't have as much time to fly as I used to, so I'm not getting as high flight counts as I used to. When you put 600 flights on an airplane, it does wear it out. They're not supposed to last that long, I don't think. They're probably supposed to last like 100 flights. The bigger ones more, but the little ones. But I get way more out of it.
So the Kenworth has a medium log frame.
Hey, we'll see you, Anthony.
And on this map, oh no.
What's the matter?
Oh, never mind. There we go. Thought I needed a log crane for a second, but I didn't.
Oh, does that hold medium logs?
The Kenworth has a medium log attachment for it. The old Kenworth we got in the other map.
Okay.
And it did spectacularly on this map through the mud.
Yeah, that's what it's for. Not the hills, just the mud.
Even with that big old load of logs, it did good.
So what seasons would you say are... I mean, there's just season 1 and 2, right? Or is there more? Oh, no, there's a bunch, aren't there?
Of what?
Snowrunner. Yeah.
I thought they just released season 11. This is
yeah, you're right.
right.
True, they're divided by little seasons. Oh, it's good. You're fixing the road that I'm on. Which ones are our favorites vehicle-wise? Well, that's hard because they all have... Man.
What is the... there, just got to go through the marshes, start tracking.
All right, real quick here. What are the good ones? I mean, they're all good. I'm gonna say that they're all amazing, but some of them are better than others.
Some of the middle ones are really the stuff where you had to like do all the crafting stuff.
Were annoying. Yeah.
Those
were stupid.
Driving with you guys then, so I didn't have to do those. But I look at those and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't look like fun.
The cat's a no. I mean, this doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean they're not good. They're not. This is a no. You don't have to have that one. The
Ontario one where you got the dairy, that was good.
Yeah, that's good. This is the Ontario season, whatever season that is, 9, I think.
Yep.
Amur is horrible. I would say yes for this one, but Amur is horrible. So I would skip it. I'm just trying to look through and see memorable ones. Obviously, this Kenworth Heavy is good. That's going to be season 10. And that also has the Mack Defense, which is a great truck. That's also season 10. The Pacific and the Paystar are great trucks. Those are from season Wisconsin. I don't know what season that is, but it's Wisconsin. 6 maybe. This Western Star DLC we all liked. I don't know, other people don't like it, but these 3 trucks come with that, and that's nice. That's a nice pack. This was stupid. Now, I mean, this thing's cool, but I don't know. I don't even know what that came with. The Neo Falcon.
What, the twin steer?
Yeah. No. The Forester.
That
It's
that was
okay.
one of the later seasons, I think.
Yeah. Any of the seasons that don't have snow. Obviously, season 11 has the Burlak, which is probably one of the best scouts in the game so far. And it's also got, what was the other truck that came with this? Some weird Russian pickup truck. That's not great, but at least one of the trucks is good. These both came with that farming one.
Little SUV based off the Sentinel.
Right. Yeah. And then we have the Pike comes with season 8, I think. That's a really good truck. These I haven't gotten yet. Tatra is a separate pack. Once again, I don't know about these. Probably they're good, but I haven't gotten them yet. So there's a lot of stuff we haven't even hit yet. I mean, that's the problem. The Zix is supposed to be amazing. I think that's part of the game. If you're not getting seasons, some of the little doohickey knick-knack trucks are good. The Jeep pack is good. Like I said, the Western pack Star pack is good. The Crocodile is an amazing truck. What's the other one? The big one, the Mammoth or whatever it's called.
I don't know. I haven't paid for any of those DLC truck packs. But I've driven you guys' Crocodiles, and I will say that's one of the better.
Yeah, the Crocodile's an amazing truck. They're pretty cheap. I think the Crocodile's like $2 or $3. And then the I call it Hermione. I can't think of what the name of the truck is. Oh, I was just looking at it. Dang it. The Big Maz.
Is that the Mastodon?
Yeah, the Mastodon. That's it. Thank you. The K700, I didn't even think you can get it. Can you get a K700?
What is a K?
Is there a boat over there? Dang it, I gotta go all the way around the map again? I wish I hadn't flipped. Well, drilling spare parts, is that just a box or is that a huge thing?
Usually I think that's like a 4-slot or...
Oh, okay, so I need to take a truck to get that is really what I need. So this is okay. So...
It up, but...
all right, so we're just gonna... I don't want it in storage, I want this out. So we gotta figure out how to get over there. Look at our trucks all sunk in. Defense. We could take the Mack Defense on a mission. We haven't done that for a while. Actually, that'll be good because we got an hour here, so I'm going to pause the vid.
No, drilling spare parts is a 1. Drilling equipment is the 4.
Okay, I think these are drilling spare parts that we need. Visit Poacher's boat. And drilling spare parts, so it's a 1, yeah. So the Burlak is what we're going to use. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen on YouTube, that is a full episode right there. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe, and we will see you later. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye.